Welcome back, everybody. It's time for our second semifinal, and we're ready to get it underway. We already have our first semifinalist. Now trying to find out who our second one is out of OpTic and forZe. And, well, if we take a look at it, we do have Halvor and myself here, and we're ready to lock it down and get loaded. Right, Halvor?
You'd hope so, right?
Maybe not like get loaded, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Bring the fire.
Yeah, there we go.
More or less. And hopefully the teams can do so as well. I think what we saw in the first semifinals, Wendigo, Heroic, obviously, as you mentioned, Heroic went through and that one to the finals. Scrappy play, which I guess was kind of reminiscent of what we saw yesterday, too. Not necessarily the most clean Counter-Strike, but it does make for some intense situations. I don't know. Like, from what we've seen out of forZe so far in this tournament, I'm feeling good about their chances. They've surprised me. They surprised us during the Cologne Invitational, and they don't really seem to be letting up at all.
No, they don't seem to be letting up at all, and neither does the spoilers that I have in front of us. I don't want to jump the gun here. Yeah. I know what maps are going to be played, but perhaps we take a look at the brackets, I think, is what we're going to have in front of us, Halvor.
Yeah, we're going to do that. And as we saw earlier, Heroic took down Wendigo 2-0. Rather close affair on both maps, but yeah, Heroic overall being the better team. Now we're getting into forZe versus OpTic. So that means Heroic already set in finals. They're probably going to be watching this with Argus eyes to just make sure they get all the details, really, and can potentially pick apart their opponent before they get into a potential finals. Because obviously the grand prize here is a spot at IM Chicago. So yes, a lot on the line.
The Intel Extreme Masters Chi-Town. That's what we're all playing for, at least these guys. And if we take a look at it as it stands, it's going to be forZe and OpTic. We can take a look at the vetoes. I'm going to just rush you through it right away. forZe remove Vertigo. OpTic take away Inferno. That leaves, what, a Mirage pick from forZe. And then OpTic to pick Train.
Yeah, I mean, again, I guess you could expect this at least out of forZe. They've had good showings on Mirage from the get-going. The Train pick is a little bit more curious to me from OpTic because we've seen them pick Nuke pretty much every time they've played a best-of-3 series in the later stages or, lately.
And you say Nuke, Halvor. That's funny because there's just one. Oh, my goodness, would you look at that? Wow, Mirage, Train, and then Nuke.
But, yeah, no, I'm just curious as to why OpTic would go away from what's been their staple go-to map for such a long time and switch it up in a semifinals.
Sometimes there's not a rhyme or reason.
Yeah, I've learned that over the past few days. We've seen some crazy, nonsensical stuff. But, yeah, that's a bit odd to me. I'm curious if they might actually get punished for it. I mean, we've seen Z-Power just ball out on pretty much any map with the Op, and I think that might be an issue for OpTic to deal with on a map like Train.
OpTic is has been such an enigma. One thing that I've really liked is the fact that Config has kind of fallen into his old ways, like his the way that he used to be more outspoken and used to be more of a very vocal guy when it came to in the server
talker,
and
right?
outside the server. Yeah, I didn't want to say a trash talker.
No, I mean, no,
but you're right.
People look at being a trash talker as a bad thing. I think it's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
And any sort of competitive environment, like if anybody watches NBA and thinks none of those guys are saying shit to each other, they're just completely out of, they have no touch with reality. Of course, they're competitors. And any little edge you can get, you're going to work with that. And Config, talking trash to his opponents and, hopefully, and in the past, a lot of the time being able to back it up, that makes it so much more fun.
Which is a very, very important point there, Halvor. You talk about talking trash and, most importantly, being able to back it up. So don't go getting any crazy ideas out there, everyone. I know that you might have a little bit of a trash talk bone in your body, but make sure you can back it up.
I think it might be too late for Twitch chat already. We'll see,
though. A lot of trash talk there. Don't know why you guys are the way you are, but I won't judge you, as I am one of you. I like to say that about myself. So
all the emotes.
Yes, well, the pertinent ones,
Yeah, exactly. The Monka S's of the world,
Pog Champs, Omega Lulz, blah, 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 not like this.
You're a veteran, but yeah.
I've seen a few Twitch chats in my day, and, well, today I haven't even gotten a chance to glance over Twitch chat, so I hope you're all doing very well. I was a little late this week to the party, but, better late than never, I think, is the expression. Maybe that applies
that's very accurate as well. You're in time for when it really matters for all the teams here, for all of us here as well. We can't really finish an Invitational without Trace.
Okay, come on now. Stop buttering my biscuits. Let's take a look at Mirage, Config, Nico, Tessis, Refresh, and MSL. Tessis is a guy that has been putting on some serious numbers.
Oh, he saved their bacon on Overpass last time we saw them play. He's going to have to come up big here as well. Almazra gets slashed into, Oblivion and gets killed as well. Config early on the scoreboard.
That is true. Well, they did get this rush out there. 5 alive for the side of OpTic, getting the bomb down with relative ease. Now just trying to play the angles, trying to play the flanks. It's going to be face cracked, comes out over Refresh. So now with the retake on, the 3 players alive there for forZe. We'll continue to pressure the situation. Now with the trade from Config, X-Power, not enough to do it himself. 2v1. MSL trying to defend this planet bomb. Will find the kill on the face crack, but will he find the second? No.
It's going to be enough time as well.
Yeah, too much time, actually.
Well then, 2 openings for OpTic, still not able to close that out. FaceCrack doing a monstrous job there on the backstab and B-apps to bring it back. But forZe get off to the right start that they need on their own map pick.
That is the case, Mr. Vendetta. And here we have it. We will take a look at the odds. forZe 1.79, OpTic 1.94. Things are not that spread out here, and I'm not sure what that's more telling of. OpTic or forZe? forZe have been a little bit impressive. We have gotten a few looks in on them.
Yeah,
So
no, I mean, I think it's fair to say that they've been more than impressive as of late. I mean, I'm still always going to reference that Liquid game and Map 3, etc., how that could have panned out, how they could have gotten it to overtime. We could have had a very different ending to that tournament altogether. So they haven't given me any reason to doubt them as of yet. So I'm not going to start.
Yep, good idea. Speaking of ideas, it's going to be OpTic that has the idea to walk up catwalk slowly. No real vision on this from forZe, so they've given them a lot of ground. They're going to be running into a little bit of opposition on catwalk as it stands, and out of position will be that of Flit. He will fall to MSL's Deagle, and so far the flood here onto the B site is going to come true. In the back of it, Almazer with the SMG, only able to stop one. And really, defense is just crumbling on this B side. I would not be surprised to see OpTic continue to try to abuse this side of the map, even after losing the first round. But now on a 1v4, old X-Power himself with the SMG in the halls. And Nico just walks out and gives him an AK.
Yeah, so even though they kind of floundered on the pistol round, they do bring it back in an impressive fashion there. 3 players staying alive. Just overall solid play out of OpTic. That has to leave forZe with a bit of a sour taste in their mouth.
That it does. 1-1. You can't convert, and that's going to be a not good time for you and your friends. This is one of those where I wish we could see chat, so if Config did say something, we would certainly be able to see it.
It's like, what kind of trash talk do you think it'd bring out early on? Because, you know, you haven't really established anything yet. They're still vying for position. Do you think it goes hard just right from the get-go?
Probably
just
not.
Eases into it?
Yeah, I think it's probably at this day and age able to ease into it, you know. Probably the best approach.
Yeah.
Speaking of approach, we do have a Zeus out on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 Zeus on the field. It's going to be on the CT side, holding into the palace.
I don't know. Do you think Config has bounded all these classic ones? Like, you really need to win those?
Nope. I think he's an original gangster.
An OG, all right.
He might be an OG. He might know all the things that he needs to know to trash talk just perfectly.
Right now, OpTic been given mid control. Going to work with what they have. Flashes into ladder room to clear out. Doing things by the book so far. And this is also one thing that MSL teams usually have been so good at on Mirage specifically as well. Setting themselves up for these kind of rounds, especially when they're given map control. They're going to do just that. So Tessa's going down. It's not going to be the biggest ordeal for them. As long as they can limit their losses to close out the round, this should be perfectly fine for some there, and not really looking too keen on running in towards the bomb, such as just setting themselves up for potential exits where they can get a gun with them or not. Seeing more and more players actually pick up the 5.7 now.
Why not?
It's a great gun.
It's a beast, dude.
Absolutely is, and I think we've seen it out of Angel in this tournament as well. Doing pretty well for himself. I like the idea from FaceCrack here. Sadly, it doesn't look like anyone from OpTic is going to run out of this. But he's going to get to bring it into the next round. So maybe we'll get to see his Stu skill. We haven't seen it yet. We had the benefit of having Stu, I guess, in the first Invitational.
Yeah.
So we got to see a fair few.
It sounds like, ah! Ah!
Nobody's really been able to kind of follow through on the legend that is Stu and his Stu skills in this Invitational so far. But I guess FaceCrack has.
We're talking about him playing a Mirage and then baiting out the guy towards market.
Yeah.
Genius, really.
Knows what he's doing.
That he does. 2-1. OpTic Gaming starting out strong, but not in the pistol round. Did lose that one and have been able to hold on to it ever since. So, again, good on them for the conversion.
Z-Power this time with the Zeus. So apparently it's something that's spreading. Maybe they learned actually after playing versus Liquid. They're like,
Probably.
there's something to this.
There is no kill reward though.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an easy way to take a player out of a fight, but ultimately,
I think that's a big thing, right? It kind of works like a one-shot ZZ in that sense, right? You just want to run at people, firing it off, hopefully pick up their weapon and survive long enough to do some more damage. But if you can get one, I mean, it's
here we go.
Enough trade.
Ah!
Picks up the gun as well.
Ah!
I gotta say, your Zeus impression is pretty bang on.
Yeah, I actually did it at the same time. I don't know if you noticed, but there we go. It is going to be them holding down the bomb site, but not for long. Bomb being down.
And that's,
Not playing it. That's not a good start here for OpTic.
How
They
did
can
that-
recover this. The bomb down in a really awkward position, though. That Molotov could help. They're going to force this fight. forZe forcing the issue. Refresh, grabbing the bomb. 2v2. Test very low here.
Ooh, nicely done by Refresh, though.
Double swing there and able to clean it up. That did get kind of dirty.
Yeah, MSL with a bit of a blunder there, going far into kitchen with a bomb on his back. I'm not sure if that was just him forgetting to drop it or somebody who accidentally dropped it on him, didn't tell him.
Yeah.
That happens every now and again. Actually, that's one of the quality of life changes I want to see in CSGO, which I don't think is going to be...
Quality of life changes?
Yeah, in terms of just making it easier for you to see if you've had the bomb dropped on you. Because the icon is very tiny. It's kind of see-through, right? So just make that thing, like, I don't know, purple and flashy. So, like, you'll know if somebody drops the bomb on you.
Yeah, but come on now, Halvor. What about attention to detail? Like, come on,
I mean,
man.
it would be quite the detail, though. Like, you can, I don't know, make it a bomb sticker or something.
Yeah,
Do something fancy with it.
I tell you what we do. We do it like Halo and put
All right.
plasma grenades in there, and then you just throw them and they stick to people.
There we go. Would be quite the addition. Proximity mines, maybe from GoldenEye as well. Throw that in
Might
there.
as well. Maybe get, some sort of claymores in here. That'd be kind of cool.
Trip wires all over the place.
Claymore on A ramp would be pretty sick, to be honest.
Just drop it in the smoke.
Yeah, basically. Sit on the other side of that with a shotgun.
Ooh,
And
Z
speaking of shotguns, none of that. It's going to be the AWP of MSL. That does ring loud and proud right over that of X-Power.
Does actually outduel Z-Power. Yeah, that's pretty big because Z-Power has been dominating most of the operas he's been going up against in both invitationals we've seen forZe in so far. I mean, doesn't matter if it's been Kenny S or Oscar he's been going up against. He's actually been getting the better of all of them. MSL, though, has been doing a remarkably good job actually getting openings with that op.
Yeah, and that's a big step. MSL was never really touted as the biggest, baddest opera in town, but he's finding a rhythm with it. Not sure to what song. Refresh taking a fight here from Palace. He's going to be joined by the latter player of Face Crack. So he does grab a frag, gets traded out. MSL falls, but the backstab is going to be there. It's going to be Almazar. He's pushed all the way through. He's got so much room to run with until he gets smelled out. Test this and config combining very low OpTic players here. Nico on 9 HP somehow staying alive, finishing the round out, saving the op as well.
I was, I got a little bit closer than OpTic might have anticipated there towards the end.
Absolutely.
Flip doing a hot job. He was really the leading force and the leading player in their last series we saw them in. And it's been cool to see from forZe's end, right? They've not necessarily been reliant on only 1 to 2 players to carry them through in every matchup. It's been a different look every single time. We've seen great games out of Jerry, Almazar, well, pretty much everyone on their side. And it's not like the other ones fall completely off the earth. It's just that some of them are doing so well that it's not enough to go around for everyone. It's a nice luxury problem to have. Flash play for MSL to get the peek up towards Ticket. Not going to find anything.
And again, the buy here on the side of forZe is not amazing, but so far they're making it work a little bit. Not as much as they'd like.
They work themselves into it, though. Still a scout in hand. Flip desperately tries to get a weapon and connector. Is not going to do so. Still, Z-Power doing a lot of damage here. 2 players extremely low. Config down to 4. Still going to be able to handle it as Z-Power re-peeks him from spawn. A strong start for OpTic, and when we saw them play versus Gamer Legion, one of the issues they had was the fact that they couldn't get off to solid starts. They would start most of their matchups behind either 5-0 or, in the case of Mirage, 7-1 before they got into it. And they did end up delivering a pretty decent T-half, and now with a good start, you can only imagine where it ends. But it's going to go up against a new buy from the Russian side. See what they can mount off of this. Again, flash comes in. Enough to deal with Z-Power. It's MSL 2 for 0 in this duel. Flit has picked it up, and well, it seems like if you're picking up an op, you're just going to die.
Scary times, isn't it, Halvor?
Yeah. MSL has actually just been leading the frag count as well for OpTic in a couple of situations as well. For a few games. I think there was a nuke game yesterday where he had 28. Just showcasing that he still has it in him. Now Almazer has quite the task at hand as the entirety of the OpTic lineup is moving towards that B-bomb site where he is all alone.
All on his lonesome. Eyes on the catwalk.
Wrong place.
Yeah, it's very wrong place. He's going to play from jail, able to take out Nico, and his hold not going to be very long held. His config does find him with an AK. So just Jerry and Face Crack versus the 4 players of OpTic. Make it just Jerry, because Face Crack couldn't hang. So we had to get him out of there.
It's like when you play on the playground, you're not big enough for something, so you never get picked.
You must be this tall to ride this ride. Tall enough to take down Tessus on catwalk, and in a 1v3, he's going to grab an op. He's going to save. That's the end of that.
He's going to be allowed to, though. Yeah, exactly. MSL is on the hunt. Jerry not known for his opping prowess.
But he is known for having 9 HP, and right now,
he has 0.
Yeah, 0 HP. MSL playing like he runs the server, and quite frankly, OpTic are running the board 6-1. Probably the best time for me to tell you about CSGO.net. That's right, CSGO.net.
What can you do there, Cherries? What happens? What's going on that site?
Well, you can use code Chicago, or Chicago is my
Northern Irishman.
Yes, my Irish friend has told me. Chicago. As well as the GG.bet odds.
Yeah, looking at a favorite OpTic line right now, 1.24 for them. Towards that 3.77, and you can't really argue with that looking at the start OpTic has had. And again, MSL finds an opening.
Yeah, MSL doing pretty good work here today, even though this is an eco round for the side of forZe. He's done quite a bit already with AWP in his hands. This round never really got a chance to get off the ground for the side of forZe. Only Flit with the CZ, and that's going to be the end of that. So there you have it, 7-1 for OpTic. A bye coming out for forZe again. That should help their cause. But a pause
has been called.
Because.
Yeah.
A pause because.
And that's the ideal time, really, to continue on, you were saying, on CSGO.net.
Yeah.
Using the code Chicago, that's going to give you 30% more of your balance on your deposit. So, yeah, 30% top up, and you get the chance to win some cool skins.
Yeah, and you know, just want to remind you all, official partner here of the GG.bet Chicago Invitational is CSGO.net.
Here you have it.
Okay. Now we've gotten that out there.
Yep.
Don't know if that could be mistaken at all.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you certainly know whether you wanted to know or not. Speaking of wanting to know, I want to know where they're going to be sending X-Power here on the CT side with this AWP. It looks like he's going to be taken off at the B crew.
Yeah. Given a little bit of a new look, I guess. Trying to avoid MSL in mid, potentially.
Well, he might get more than he bargained for. It's going to be OpTic heading towards his B site yet again. They're going to walk right into his op. So far, so good.
Flash has come out. Still going to find a second one, so that's his nemesis down. Whole lot of work done, and Almazer is going to clean up where he falls short. MSL, funnily enough, actually does end up finding Z-Power with the Molotov, but at least he got one back with the op.
Yeah, you know, he had done enough in that round. He was the B-hold. So probably going to have OpTic really guessing where they want to go now. Not like money's an issue. They'll be able to buy up, no problem.
Looking pretty fine and dandy, and they're even going to be fine, even if they were to lose the following as well. Not same can be said really for forZe here. Spent a significant amount of whatever bank they had, even with a pretty clean round win. Now Z-Power back in towards A. So at least giving the OpTic lineup different looks. They need to be wary about that op potentially popping up at any given place.
Oof.
Nico.
See you later, Almazar. You played with fire.
You get burnt.
And you got toasted.
He's going to survive this one, though.
Yeah, Nico on his way out of the van. Not going to win the fight. It's going to be Flit that comes out.
That's a lot of damage, though.
Yes, it was. Flit down to 13. Refresh got a plan of his own, actually, and that's just going to be to frag everyone else. Jerry and X-Power no longer in the round with us. Just Face Crack and Flick
It's the optimal strat. Take over both bomb sites.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you are dictating the pace. You are dictating the map.
Oh, flit.
Oh, God.
Or face crack, I mean.
Yep, there you have it.
It's a bomb denial at the very least.
And he knows he can't continue to fight there. He knows he's got to reposition. Meanwhile,
Oh, are
Flit
you
coming from B, and it's going to be configured in the window room. However,
it's going to circumvent that?
yeah. It's going to be a very odd retake. Looks like they're going to try to pressure it a little bit. Maybe they get given a kill early on, but I don't see OpTic just giving one up that quick.
It's going to be rough, especially because Flit's the one with the diffuse kit, right? And he's on 13 HP, so a smoke diffuse is going to be really tough to get through. And MSL and co are playing this as safe as possible. Smoke's going to go down, but positions from OpTic here is going to be prime, really, to deal with any sort of attempt at a smoke diffuse.
Oh, boy. I have a bad feeling about it.
Oh, they might think they got the wrong one. Actually, yeah.
Oh,
Those things can get pretty dicey real quick.
real quick. 0 to 100.
Well,
The speed at which
OpTic
MSL
are
is
going
opping.
Yeah.
Them too, I guess.
yeah, there are. The rest of them are kind of along for the ride, aren't they?
Yeah, and good on MSL. If he can keep that up, this is going to be a big blister for the side of forZe.
Yeah, their own map pick, and so far just getting trounced completely. Not quite the same result we saw them going up against Hellraisers and so on earlier in the tournament. I think it's much more to the credit of OpTic right now with how they're playing. So we'll get taken down, but Nico once again gets a trade in for himself with that SG. Seems like he's one of the few players.
Ooh.
It's a timely peek from Jerry.
Wrecked is refresh.
Oh, Nico, though, he's gotten that spray control down pat.
That he does, and so does this round. 2v2 tests just about half HP, and the bomb's going to be hightailing it to B.
Yeah,
Flit. Tessus joining him from underneath. They should be able to get out on this B site relatively easy unless Flit can position himself in a good spot, which, by the looks of it, him shooting and missing right there is not going to help his case whatsoever. Config quick on the draw, and will land the AWP kill. So, just X Power coming through the TV room as we speak. The AWP, no kit.
Oh, he saw.
Oh,
Might have
God.
spotted the gun barrel. Oh, Smoke's not actually going to go down in time, so Config getting a little bit careless. Not the flash you wanted.
Nope. It's not ideal, is it?
Smoke might do him some favors. Going to allow him to jump out of the window at the very least. Still needs to find Tessus. He has an idea.
Oh, my God.
Not just an idea. He's got a round bagged and tagged for force here.
Does he?
Pretty sure he does, yeah. It should be enough time for him to defuse this. There we go.
What?
Nicely done.
Okay, so he drops out of the window. There's the sound cue. I would love to see that from the POV.
Of Tessus?
Yeah, of the last frag.
Just simply not being able to connect.
Oh my goodness.
That's a duel you should win out on.
Yeah, head on applied directly to forehead. In this case, it was applied directly to Tessus's forehead. 3 rounds of the board for forZe. It's to begin to mount a comeback here as we look at round 12.
Had pretty good T sides as well, so it's not all doom and gloom if they're able to salvage 6 rounds or so on the CT side. See what comes of it, though.
That we shall. OpTic electing to go for sort of a mid aggression again this round. They did a little bit earlier in the half. Now smoking off top connector. They have full mid control as well as window being smoked. They have a freedom of movement here. 3 players over here towards this B site for forZe. So a retake situation over there, a little bit easier. Doesn't look like OpTic want to bite though.
It's like those situations, like you wish the player could see what you're seeing, right?
Yep.
If only MSL knew how close he was. If he only had pulled the trigger. Instead, it's going to be a lot of movement out of force here. You can see Face Crack getting real aggressive out through apps, and it's going to net them a fair bit of information too. Now, MSL has seen that there's someone. He's going to be patient and gets rewarded for it as well.
Yep, so there you have it. They're going to Molotov catwalk, flood into this connector, and try to take on this A site. Face Crack, having pushed all the way through, is going to be nowhere to be found, but if the timing works out, it's going to be Refresh that comes out on the lesser end.
Is he going to push up fully, though?
Oh, dear. Here we go.
There you go. Face crack finds the kill needed.
Oh, OpTic, don't do it like this. It's falling apart at the seams. Flit and X Power. We're the only ones to get into the site. Now it's just X Power with the AWP.
3 to find might be a little bit too much to deal with, and he's going to bail out. It's going to be 9th round for OpTic, and they're looking so strong here in the opener map of this second semifinals.
That they are. In case you're wondering, it's forZe that picked Mirage, so not a good feeling for forZe fans around the world.
Not going according to plan just yet.
It's really not. They're going to hold on to an AWP as we get round 13. Excuse me. Yeah, round 13.
We have it. Numbers are hard. Can be pretty rough. I managed to miss out on that one of those with 2 rounds or something on the second day.
Numbers are hard when you're from Alabama, however.
I mean, they're hard just about regardless of where you're from. That's why we'd never do math live.
That is correct. Instead.
Now then.
Jesus.
Wow.
Never change, I say. Never change. Good Lord Almighty. The internet is a cruel, vile, yet
Place.
fascinating place all at the same time. Look at this angle by refresh. Zeus again. Not this time. It's face cracked falls. Jerry's going to be there to re-peek.
Oh, we saw the gun tip. Not going to be able to land the shots, though. Nice correction from refresh, and Z-Power's gone down over towards B. This is falling apart for forZe. OpTic are going to get to double figures.
That they are. Almazar with the Deagle. Body armor, but where are you going to go? What you going to do with that, Almazar? Show me something cool. Doesn't look like you'll be doing that anytime soon. Double digits is on the cards. You're right, Halvor. 10-3. Just pinning a bomb plant and all the formalities thereafter. Speaking of formalities, head over to csgo.net and use code Chicago. Get it done. Official partner of GG.bet, Chicago Invitational.
Now Muzzer, we'll see what he plans to do. Perhaps hoping to put himself in a position to fight at least one frag. But obviously another round on the board for OpTic, and big problem for forZe right now is that they haven't been able to string multiple rounds together in a row. String.
That was your Southern.
Yeah, and I went full Southern there. I don't know what happened.
Yeehaw, hot damn, some bitch.
You went Irish. I went Southern.
Yeah.
We're all over the map here.
Sort of like that, yeah. All over the map. Speaking of all over the map, it's OpTic that are running the map as it stands. Tessus having a great showing again.
MSL again.
Yes, MSL being the highlight player. For me, at least over on the OpTic side. Then you have the 3 rounds there of forZe.
Yeah, none of the individuals, like what we talked about being such a luxury for them in the past, or at least in the previous games we've seen them in, is that there's always 1 to 2 players who just seem to go off on their end. That hasn't really been the case so far. It's on Z-Power on 10, and that's leading the charge for them. But that's not going to give you too many rounds versus an OpTic lineup that's playing really, really well. MSL in familiar territory. Z-Power with a bit of a different angle. It's going to net him a kill on Nico. Nico's been creating quite a bit of an issue over towards those B halls, so that's a nice little get for forZe early on.
Yeah, and just alleviating some of the pressure that's been put on them by OpTic. OpTic really are running around the map like they own the place. And they're going to continue to do that towards the B halls right now. There won't be anyone here within the B site, so should they have figured that out? The only problem they could run into is X Power's op. We've seen what he can do with it. Now what will he do with it is the question.
Oh, he's going to need to hit some shots, that's for sure. Splashes comes in, only half flash, and that's going to be an easy kill for Z-Power. Config down, but OpTic out on the bomb site.
Oh, boy. They are out. So is MSL.
Doing it all.
Yeah, look at this. They're just staying alive in this fight right now. That grenade, you would have thought, had done the trick. This could be a disaster. They are tearing forZe in half. What was a 2-on-4 is now dwindled down to a 2-on-2. Bomb has been planted. Still 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
No
Waiting for
real
face crack
rush
here, though.
Yeah, face crack with the long flank. There's the bomb plant. Not looking like a good turn of events here. Refresh, 1v2, 18 HP. Knows there's a player behind. Does find the player that was coming from Market. Now expecting the player to fight here from Van. Not quick enough. Refresh falls. forZe pick up 4. That brings us to the last round of the half.
Yeah, I'm first going to have at least an off going into it, so that's something to work off of. We've seen Z-Power having impact when he has it in his hands, and much needed as well. I mean, if you're going to be realistic about it, too, forZe very much need this this last round of the first half to stay in it. Full buy on the side of OpTic. They've never really been in a situation where they've had money issues all game long. Same can't really be said for the CTs.
Not at all.
Here we go, going into the last round of the first half with, well, I want to say 1.5 rifle, an AUG and a FAMAS, and then obviously this op on Z-Power.
Let's see what MSL can open up here. Config with the 2-bulleter. Already taking out Jerry. Help a lot. It's going to go a long way.
Oh. Second mid? No. Cheeky CSGO physics, saving face crack. Oh, okay, gets the tag. Config down to 3 HP and face crack follows up.
Well, that was awkward.
It was, but speaking of awkward things, Nico has made himself through to kitchen and through that entirety of the open B-bomb site.
Yes, and in the meantime, his teammate in MSL has grabbed the bomb and is hightailing it through B halls.
Oh.
Problem being, there are players from forZe in the underpass.
Bit of a standoff here. MSL has the right idea. That's a nice read on his end, and we'll see how patient he is.
No.
Oh, just not patient enough. Oh, but throws them all. Oh, Z-Power still going to find the kill, though. So that means Nico can no longer have this forward positioning in kitchen. He's going to have to go digging. That's going to be a hard treasure to find as well.
Yeah, that timing couldn't have been any worse.
There we go. Oh, not quite ready to or able to punish him, but how do you get a bomb plant down here? Okay, they're committing to the bomb site.
Wow.
A little bit hectic. Seemed like they could have been a bit more patient, but it's still going to net them a 5th round. So there's still a fighting chance here. If they can get off to a hot start similar to what we saw out of OpTic, then anything's possible, really. And forZe have to be kicking themselves not being able to capitalize off of winning a pistol here on the CT side.
Well, you say pistol, and I say round. Pistol, round. That's where we're going. Second one of the game. Let's see what kind of goodness it delivers to us. MSL not going to slow down in the pistol rounds either, it seems. Pushing up close A ramp. But he's got the right guess. forZe playing pretty heavy on this A side. I don't see them going any other direction at this point. No map control anywhere else. And a couple nades to come out. First bit of contact will be MSL. Trade there in terms of Nico falling. So far, so good there for forZe. They do lose 2 in the process, but we'll take the site. Depending on timing, we'll look to get this bomb down as well.
Jerry's just being a bit of a menace here with the pistols. 3rd kill already. Configs yet to find. And there we go. Pistol round secured for forZe. They will hopefully get a better go of it in the second round than what they had in the first half. Might see a bit of a force from OpTic as well, and there you see the odds. Still in favor of OpTic. You can't really argue with that, considering how the first half played out. Obviously, these brought to you by GG.bet. But forZe are looking to minimize the gap here.
They are. Winning a pistol round will help. We'll find out. Deagle and config, so never, ever, 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 ever write that off.
Forever, ever?
Forever, ever? Forever, ever? That's true.
Great song for those who aren't aware. Outcast, Miss Jackson.
Yes.
That was not the greatest entry to the B-bomb site. Config, getting to work with that Deagle. Finding 1 kill and doing a lot of tag damage as well.
Ooh. That he did. Didn't do enough to hold down the whole site, but still.
Gives room, at least, or an opportunity for the 3 remaining OpTic members to do some damage here. Well, mods are at around 50 HP being the most healthy one. And there we go. Scout getting activated. And Refresh is in a pretty nasty position here to potentially do some damage on the backstab.
stands. It's going to be Nico with the falls. Now they know exactly where refresh is. 1v2. He'd have to win a fight here straight up right away. He has no idea this player's playing towards jail and the other one towards ban.
Found the player in jail eventually, but not going to be able to get the kill on him. So forZe survive the scare for now. That means that they're looking to get at least a third round off the bat of the second half, because there's not going to be a whole lot of investment on the side of OpTic. They want to get to that op on MSL early on. They want to have the utility. They want to set up for a strong CT side defense.
Ten to 7. Still no weapons there for OpTic. We do have a pretty crazy looking play about to happen here in middle. 5 stack. They're going to push it. They look like they're going all the way through. The comm has to have been made at this point.
Flip. All right, still manages to stay alive for the time being. So he's buying a lot of time, if nothing else. If it will eventually go down to config, but the AK has been kept under control. A monster drops down the Molotov, and MSL nearly burns to his death. That spread can get dangerous. 7 HP, and it's just a formality before he goes down.
10 to 8. forZe clawing it back, round by round.
Yeah, if they can stay in this, stay mentally strong, they have a shot at bringing it back on their own map pick. Again, we're a little bit taken by surprise, I guess, by OpTic's choice of going to train. See how that pans out. Or if forZe could potentially steal that away when we get to that point.
No casualties in this round thus far, but rifles on the side of OpTic. So let's see what they can do, what they can piece together. MSL back with the AWP. Since we do speak about optics, you will have that scope is at his disposal. Playing from Ticket, perhaps he can get an opening kill.
Opening kills. It's going to go the way of forZe, but doesn't take long before MSL responds.
No, and they've let a player get all the way in the jungle. And with the bomb, too. Quite the awkward situation. They're going to go ahead and get out of here. They're going to B. This was never about A. This was about going to B. Fresh sensing that there's still a player on the ramp. Meanwhile, a TK comes into Flit. But MSL, I think it's too far gone. We're probably going to see him save this AWP at this point. Bit of a mini-map jump there. I think we had a player DC. But it looks like they are back now. He's at it again. X-Power, 18 and 12.
Yeah, he really came alive. We needed someone on the side of forZe to step up, and it seems like Flit wants to join him as well. He's at 15 right now. So getting it done. Working their way back into the game, and that entire lead OpTic had is about to be vaporized. Even though Z-Power loses the first opportunity to get a frag, is not going to miss the second one, but MSL somehow dropped Almazr behind him. So he doesn't go away empty-handed.
No, he doesn't. Bomb's still back towards middle. Yeah. 4 versus 4, just Deagles on the side of OpTic.
It seems like Z-Power played a little bit of juggling with the weaponries to remove that AK from the pit area, so Refresh can't necessarily get that too easily. Now converging in on mid, and that's going to be where Z-Power finds the kill onto Nico. Activates Jerry as well. Usually forZe have had a really good time of actually having Jerry pop out of apps. For a bit of a distraction elsewhere on the map, and this time it's going to be, well, the mid take that's the most successful. 2 kills coming up through Connector, and that leaves Tesses alone with the Deagle, and he's still stuck in Kitchen. So any sort of hope of winning this round back is not looking too high.
You are absolutely right, Havor.
Can't be disputed.
Undisputable, some say. Ooh, Okay, not bad from Tessus. Can garner himself an AK, but that's very short-lived. AWP'd out of the round. 10-10. forZe have brought it back.
We really have. Even keel, back to where we started. 10-10 being the scoreline, though, and it's going to be another buy on the side of OpTic. So potentially big swing around here. It could be a 2-for-1 really for forZe if they win this out, because there's not a whole lot left in the bank of OpTic. On the side of forZe, they're going to be able to rebuy if they were to lose it regardless. So not going to put too much dent to their current momentum. Now we're seeing close-up setup, popularized by the Brazilians. Fallen, obviously, usually playing this sort of setup. They've left apps completely barren as it is right now. You have Nico playing around towards window, just peering into mid, but they have no real control of what's going on. And A-Halls.
They're not concerned about Palace at all, are they?
Yeah.
Bomb over here towards A. And a little bit of noise being made by them over at B.
I feel like if this was you and me, we would have been killed from apps by now.
Yeah. Or someone would have rotated out of purpose and just ran through. It's just the dumb stuff.
Yeah. Well, that pulls a rotation, though, with Jerry going down there towards pit, and that leaves Tessus all by his lonesome. Needs to come up big. He's done it before here for OpTic. Config has managed to rotate his way in. Alta burning everywhere, but not really catching any of the OpTic players. Bit of a standstill ensues as well. FaceCrack first to go down on the B-bomb site.
Yeah, Flit's stuck here at the van. This is looking like a good round for OpTic, and they need it too. They need a big time. Money is the big problem on the other side of this round. With 30 seconds left on the clock. Just trying to get out there is going to be forZe. They need to get the bomb down. 2v3. Alzheimer and Flit are the only ones alive.
Is he going to drop the bomb down or actually commit to the bomb site? We'll see shortly. That's going to be the drop down. So bomb goes down and Flit has him covered. Still need to dig themselves out of this 2v3 hole.
Oh, the timing.
Oh, Mauser finds MSL at Catwalk as well.
Oh, man. Here we go. Nico. 101. Almazar at jail. Nico's going to have to take this fight. He's going to have to lose it, too. forZe pick one up. And, well, this started out very, very strong for OpTic. And now it's looking like scrambled eggs.
Not the good kind either.
Like the normal hotel kind.
Yeah, exactly. The one that has like a little bit funky color. Consistency not really there.
Yeah. Straight out of the bag.
But, yeah, but you really want eggs, so.
I mean, it's a staple of breakfast, right?
Yeah. Just got to dig in, but it's not the most enjoyable experience. That's really what it is for OpTic right now. There's not a whole lot in the bank of OpTic, so they're going to have to just deal with this with limited weaponry. It's going to be upgraded pistols, deagles all around. Starts off well as well. Z-Power once again finding an opening, and it seems like the Oppers really have been what sets the tone for both these teams. MSL did it for his team on the T side. And now it's all about Z-Power.
That is certainly true. AWP impact has been there. 4v3 to forZe's favor currently.
And they're just taking their time. They don't want to mess this up. They don't want to give an in for OpTic to potentially steal away around. Can't argue with that mindset. Jerry's going to make his way out of apps as soon as he hears that nade go out and successfully finds refresh. That's the A-bomb side open. A little bit of a bungled Molotov, but they'll make it through.
Yeah. No one here from OpTic anymore to defend their honor, so this bomb will be getting planted by forZe on the A site. Fake's going to try to peek here from CT spawn in a second.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, peek he does, but then again, so does OpTic in the round. It's forZe that actually win it. So we'll go to 12-10.
Yeah, buy comes in from OpTic once more. MSL back on the op. Config hasn't bought up yet. Might be considering a second op, actually. He's got the money for it, but will decide on an M4 in full utility. So healthy buy on the Danes. It's pretty much their best chance in a while, actually, here now to grab a round back. And if they weren't, could very quickly be looking at 14 rounds for forZe. FaceCrack really aggressive in mid, but MSL still going to find the pick. This mid aggression might not be working out the initially or how they planned it, but a frag nonetheless. MSL 5 HP, still staying aggressive. Flit deciding not to take that challenge. Z power. I mean, if MSL can find an opening, so can he.
Yeah, some dangerous Molotovs right there.
MSL needs to be worried about pretty much anything flying in at this stage. Flick goes down to Config. Molotov's going to cut Config off from rotating in towards the bomb site. Smoke goes down towards jungle 2. Bomb has been dropped, though, so...
Yeah, but they want to continue to contest a site. They're pushing all the way up. They're going to boost him on top of the stairs. If this guy falls, it's going to be a bad news Bears day for forZe.
MSL is on low HP as well, so just kind of need to...
Ouch.
Yeah. Didn't even need that headshot, but I guess if you are feeling accurate...
It's true.
Why not?
And there you have it.
Speaking
Power
of
plant
accuracy.
Round win for forZe, 13-10. Ouch.
Yeah, and I mean, OpTic have been having a hard time getting rounds here on the CT side just in general. Doesn't matter if they've had pistols or actually full buys. So with them being on the brink where they could potentially convince themselves into force buying to put up a bit of a defense, I'd be very surprised to see them fully commit. They seemingly need everything they can have at hand to hold back force right now.
Well, let's just paint a picture here for a second, right?
Yep.
10-5 first half, and it's forZe that only have 5 on the CT side. Flip it over. OpTic have yet to win around a CT.
Yeah.
Yet.
They've had opportunities as well. I mean, 2v3 situations and after plants, or not even after plants. forZe just been coming up clutch. Was not the need he was looking for. And that, well, same can be said for the return 2 HP taken off of Tess's. Might be a bit of a boost in play here.
(13-10). Slowly but surely, there's a hit over towards the A site. Bomb's going to be there. All members of forZe are going to be there. And what weaponry does OpTic have? Not a whole lot. Pretty much duct tape around the garden hose at this point. Let's see what they can do with it. The MSL playing close to the ramp. It will spray down Almazar through the smoke. When he pushes through, can't do much more than that. Even strength, 4 versus 4.
Well, numbers might be even, but weaponry certainly favors force, and Z-Power's going to make sure that they have the numbers advantage as well. You hear the tick, refresh goes down.
That he does. forZe look very, very comfortable right now. Like a nice, cold cappuccino.
Yum.
Yum.
Exactly what you need.
Exactly.
Kick in the morning, right?
Yep, there it is. MSL opening duels. As we take a look at the last round, he had 8-2 in terms of opening duels. Still somehow, some way,
They're struggling to find rounds here.
struggling. On their T side, 10. CT side, 0. Zilch. Nada. Goose egg.
Ingenting.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Ingenting. Shout out Fifth Laren for teaching me one Swedish word to go along with the other Swedish words that are not broadcast appropriate.
It's a solid one because you know, it got the same word in Norwegian as well. So you're pretty much, you know, multilingual, I guess.
Bilingual.
At this stage. Bilingual. Well, not just bilingual, right?
Trilingual.
All the linguals.
Can you speak Finnish?
Definitely no. I know how to say bad words, and I know how to say get to the market.
Get to the market.
Or yeah, to the market we go, which is torilla tavataan.
What about like get to the chopper?
I haven't quite
Finnish.
learned that yet. I'll have to reach out to Natu and see what he can teach me.
Just download Duolingo, man.
Did they have get to the chopper in Finnish?
Probably. You probably piece it together.
Ooh,
Piecing it
Nico.
together will not be Flit. He gets absolutely eradicated. It's going to be Nico that does it. Short-lived, though. Tries to dance around in the smoke. Doesn't last too long.
Oh, that's an aid.
That's a good nade, too. Lands right on top of Refresh.
Still going to be able to find a kill. And Comfy's going to chime in, too. And now, parry situation for Jerry.
There it is. You ask and you shall receive.
First round on the board in the second half. And forZe immediately sense that something's up. disaster has struck. I need to talk things through.
1 round. This was it. We just witnessed it on their CT side.
Well, money is certainly not an issue on the side of forZe. It's kind of what you get for having a 9-round win streak. And for OpTic, to survive with a couple of members, but still pretty broke when it comes to it. TeSys being the only one really with any money left over. Still MSL topping the frag count for OpTic. Config on his end has worked his way up to 19.
X-Power, though.
He's really just carrying the way, just leading the path of righteousness for forZe. 29. And he had 10, I think, at the half.
Ouch. Well, here you have it. They're going to show face in mid early on the side of forZe. Fight's not going to go their way. It's actually going to go Config's way. OpTic find themselves with the advantage. How long will it last? That is the question. He's going to keep the pressure up. Finds 2 big op kills of his own. He's going to get swung on underneath. Actually does fall to Almazar. Flit taken out as well. But all intents and purposes, a pretty quick round there for the side of OpTic.
Yeah, once again, MSL getting activated with that op, winning the duel versus Z-Power. It seems like that's more or less what the rounds come down to. Who wins out that initial duel if MSL goes down? OpTic don't really stand too much of a chance, and obviously a lot of firepower goes out, or a lot of the wind beneath the wings of forZe fall apart if Z-Power is killed early on. Solo, enough money to buy up again. This could be the swing round that gets OpTic back to an even score. forZe need to get a lot of work done here. That's not the way to start it. Jerry gets spammed down through the smoke. FaceCrack finds 1 return.
Uh-oh.
There's a lot of back and forth here.
That there is. Fortunately for OpTic, it does leave them with 1 man ahead. 3-2. 1 op on MSL. He's been on fire with it.
Ooh, and Almazar seeing if he can find TeSys jumping up and down. Not going to be the case, so they know at least where 1 out of the remaining 2 are. He's actually just going to commit to this. Gets tagged up by MSL as well, so down to 13 HP. He's going to need to chill out and wait for Z-Power to come up through short here. Z-Power expecting a rotation to come in. That's not really happening. We see Refresh working his way through A-halls. And everyone on OpTic's gotten themselves into pretty safe positions here. And ooh, TeSys dropping the ball there a little bit. MSL missing a shot. Follow-up is going to be good, though, and he knows he's tagged up on Almazar, but still going to be enough to get the kill here. Picks up the bomb as well, but now dealing with Refresh might be the issue. He's just going to go swing over to A. That might be the biggest play here. He probably has an inkling that a rotation should be coming in.
Yeah, but the trains are just not headed to the same station, are they? However, now they are. Sound cues there. Refresh going to peek from connector. And Almazar is going to go for the open plant. Let's see how this pans out. Gets it down.
Oh, he's going to get to pit as well.
Yep, Hall still to A ramp.
Molotov on Refresh. So he could section off that entire pit area. He's going to do that. And there's
dear.
Yeah, there's the smoke on Almazar, but he hasn't heard the sound. There's no tap in play yet. What I was about to say that. Okay, he just managed. He actually held it. Yeah.
All right.
Even I'm getting fooled there, and I can see both of them. I did not hear the diffuse sound being initiated, but it might have been masked by the Molotov, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think I heard it either.
Yeah. In any case, though, Refresh wins out the round, so well done. Saves OpTic from a sticky situation. Also puts forZe in a rough spot where they don't have too much money to work with. They will buy up on some. Z-Power's been dropped an op. Well, Monster has an AK. He had a bit of a residual. Well, he had a bit of a residual cash. See what they can work with this. Would be a big get for OpTic to get back into this after having such a rough start on their second half.
Peace. Config
right,
gets eliminated by a Deagle. Almost serving his own medicine. But can they hold on to the site? That was forZe's objective. It's going to be now down to Flit and X-Power. Bomb and B Halls. One's going to be walking out with an AWP. What a weird confrontation this is about to be. X-Power just reads into it. 2v2. MSL and refresh. Flit taking some shots over there just to keep him interested at A.
It's just two separate battles going on right now.
No real rhyme or reason.
Oh, Plant goes down for short. And even if Z-Power might go down in this situation, here's the scope. Should at least. This gives forZe a pretty good option, or a pretty good chance.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Result.
Starting to smell like map point, unless MSL can do something crazy here in a 1v1. Both offers, both having switched to their pistols, and only one will come out on top. It's going to be forZe pushing themselves to map point. 3 rounds only for OpTic, and they do it in succession. However, not enough. They're not able to hold on. They're not able to build on it. And moreover, now the pressure really is on.
Oh, well. Not the ideal last round bye for OpTic here.
Not at all.
Tessa's even going to take some Molotov damage to boot. So Famasa, Nico, M4 on refresh, and an MP9 on MSL. That's really what they have to stand against this pressure from forZe with.
That is correct.
Now again, similar approach from forZe and how they play these rounds. Very slow and steady. Config's going to get the better of Flit. So AK retrieved, and not really a whole lot of damage done to Config either. Is he going to be able to make it out? FaceCrack has an idea. He's seen that nobody's managed to make it up from there, so he knows Config's going to be lurking about. Makes it go at it. And, well, he did make the move of picking up the AK with a lot of HP. He doesn't really leave the area with a whole lot. 7 HP to his name. Can still do damage, though. Now let's see what forZe has in mind. They want to go towards that A-bomb site.
And they do. Crunch time here for OpTic Gaming. forZe sitting on map point. Next map being Train. Map pick of OpTic. Well, the hit's going to be at A. Going to split Palace and A ramp.
Yeah, they can't run back. I don't know what they're doing here with the bomb. They're actually just opting to save.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to do with 8 seconds on the clock. This
Yeah.
round is really just not good.
I mean, I kind of like the call eventually. Instead of trying to force the issue, they realized that, well, we have solid weaponry. Z-Power can drop for Flit, so we're going to get a full buy in the next round as well. If we run into that, which obviously should be a pretty stacked site from the side of OpTic with how much time is left and, you know, the information they've been given, that, yeah, this is just the better choice. It's a hard decision to make, but it's the right one. So still giving us a chance to close this out before it potentially goes to overtime. Here we see the odds from GD.bet. forZe still being favored here. I mean, they are, after all, on map point.
They're just, you can imagine what's being said in this pause right now. Because it is 15-14. You've just had to stop what you were doing and save in the last round. Now what do you do to finish off this map and move on into the next map pick?
Yeah, you had everything set up for you, right? Config on a ZZ. Could have very easily gotten taken out by Flit. Instead, he managed to make it out alive. Just puts a complete stop to whatever forZe wanted to do. That's really the turning point of that round. Now they're going to have much better weaponry on the side of OpTic, but Nico gets caught out. Smoke not down yet, which means Nico's not safe.
Well, there they go. Mid control was on the cards for forZe. Big round for both teams. forZe can push them away and push themselves just closer to the grand final by winning this map. And flipping over to Train, if they could pick that too, that would be a pretty big task considering it was an OpTic's map pick. But they've started out this round in the right way with one pick on Nico. So far, it looks like they don't want to show presence in too many different places. Mid's going to be on the cards. All 5 to be exact.
Indeed. OpTic spread somewhat thin here. Config needs to be able to get a fair few kills from this position. There's still going to be a tiny gap, but he's going to decide to evacuate the... There, yep. Needs coming out from forZe. They're going to make the row up. Oh, Config can get the drop on so many players here if he's good with his timing. Tessus is also tucked away in a nice corner here. Might not get checked. Well, it does. Almazer doing his due diligence, and Jerry follows up on that.
Man.
And, well, just in the matter of seconds, FaceCrack over towards Connector is able to find two, closes it out for forZe, and at the very end of it, they do manage to grab away a win on their own map pick. C-Power had 34 kills.
Yeah.
He just really came alive in that second half, didn't he?
He did everything he needed to do. MSL did everything he needed to do.
Yeah.
But really and truly, this came down to some really weird fights and OpTic just not getting the better end of them.
Yeah, and we've seen that actually happen to a lot of the opponents of forZe. It seems like their playstyle is just a bit of a wonky one to get a good grasp of, and they're perfectly comfortable in a lot of these weird, I don't know, I want to call it like a knife fight in the streets, right?
Yeah.
Nobody comes out really a winner, but forZe are more experienced, I guess.
Everybody just comes out kind of scratched up. Maybe one guy gets stabbed, but maybe even, nothing serious.
Exactly.
His hand or something. Either way, we're going to be going to a quick break. We do have forZe up one map in the series. That was their map pick. Now we'll be flipping it over to Train, the map pick of OpTic. And then I'll be coming at you when we come back from this break.